Alright, so we are inside the BMW 240i, and honestly, what a place to be. Let's just fire her up. Spicy. But yeah, let's take her for a drive, see what the whole fuss is about with this lovely piece of kit, and yeah, talk you through my experience. I will also add some bits of B-roll on top of some driving POV, well, dashcam sort of POV, because I did take you for a spin, but I did not get the chance to do a proper drive and talk because there was quite a bit of traffic. So let's see what turns out, because I'm sure it'll be alright. As first impressions go, this car is very comfortable to live with, basically. It's honestly a pleasure to be inside of. The new BMW system, and when I say system I mean both the iDrive and the new layout of everything, the new design, which is not new anymore, as it's been like this for what, 2 years now, since 2020. But to me it's still fairly new, because I have the 3 Series F32, which is still the previous generation design, so it is still quite new to me, which is lovely, because I get to experience all these new cars and compare them to the older generation and see how things have improved. So yeah, as a city sort of car, it's great. I mean, it's comfortable, it's quiet because of the OPF filters and all the jazz that they've been doing to these cars to basically muffle them to oblivion, because you can't really get a lot of noise out of them anymore. Most of what you hear is probably pumped through the speakers, so you can have a rough sense of speed or enjoyment out of the cars, because you won't really hear a lot of exhaust otherwise. But hey, we do what we must and deal with these new regulations as everybody else. And of course, you can change this issue with an exhaust, a different exhaust or some exhaust modifications. So it's not the end of the world, to be honest. But yeah, oh, what a place to be in, what a place to be in. And honestly, not only is it comfortable, it's also very fast. Here we're on a fairly straightforward and not sketchy bit of road, so I'm just gonna put my foot down. And you can hear all the chaos unleashing, because this thing has got a lot of power. Well, not too much power, but a lot for a daily driver sort of thing, or a non-M car, because this, let's not forget, it's not a full-fledged M car. This is just the M240, not the M2. And yeah, it's quite something. It's quite something. The engine, the B58, feels great, always has. I've driven the Z4, I've driven my car, the 340, I've driven my friend's 240i, the F22 generation, and they all feel absolutely great. They all feel very similar, because obviously it's the same engine, and all of them feel amazing. So from a driver's perspective, this engine is chef's kiss. Also coupled to the ZF8 gearbox, which is very smooth in comfort, and in Sport Plus it can be very aggressive. And if you do a little tune to it, a slight modification, you can also get it even to be even more aggressive. So there's that, if you so desire. But honestly, I don't think that anybody who gets to drive the ZF8 gearboxes will complain, because it's plenty aggressive and fast when you want it to be. So yeah, right now I'm on a windy bit of road, and it's honestly such a pleasant experience to drive this car. we're in comfort as well, not even in sports or sport plus, just in comfort, and it's already amazing. Okay, maybe put that back down. It's honestly amazing. I can't stress how good this car feels and handles for a car that weighs quite a bit. I mean, the 240 is supposed to be the nimble, you know, the more nimble, the more small kind of car in the BMW lineup, which then gets complemented by the M2, as that's the pinnacle of the sporty, small sort of nimble car from BMW. But you see, this is not really that small, because it does weigh north of 1600 kilos. I think it's even 1700. I'm not sure with the X-Drive, because this is the X-Drive version. Then again, this is not some specs heavy scientific review or channel, so this is purely my perspective as a petrol head, car guy perspective, as I said, as the title says. So yeah, this is my 2 cents on the M2, and honestly, it's such a good thing. It's such a good thing. But let me turn off the safety systems, because it is annoying me very much. Don't understand why I need to be corrected when I'm driving, but anyway, I guess it's good for some people. It's good on the motorway, so you don't mess up. But hey, on B roads and country roads like these, no, it does not really work. So yeah, it's a very lovely car, honestly. As I previously said on the outside, the first time I saw the images, I was so revolted. I was like, what is this atrocity? It looked so bad in the images. It looked disproportionate, it looked weird, and for the longest time I did think it is like that. I thought it's disproportionate and weird, but now that I got to see it in real life, it's the first time I see it as well. So it's the first time I see it, and also the first time I drive it. So there's that. So now that I saw it in real life, and I got up close and personal to it, and experience the handling and the driving dynamics and everything, honestly, it's all right. You know, it's all right. Especially in this spec, blacked out with sort of grey, not chrome, bronze wheels. I don't know, they look like they're magnesium. I don't think they are magnesium, because that'd be very expensive spec on a non-M car, but hey, who knows. So yeah, it looks quite apart, I would say that. It's very aggressive from the front, especially from the front. It's very aggressive. It's got this bulge on the bonnet, which is very M car-like, which is good and bad at the same time. Good because it makes it very aggressive, but bad because you can't really differentiate between this and the M cars now, because it's very, very aggressive looking. There's no differences in terms of styling, to be honest, because previously you would have the 240, which had like more flat lines, more like a flat bonnet, flat body lines, and then you would go to the M2, which had curved arches, had a hump in the bonnet, had all these things, which same thing with the M3 and M4, but this car has all of them. So I'm very curious to see what the M2 will look like from this generation, because let's be honest, that's going to be the best BMW for a driver's perspective, from a driver's perspective, because that's what you want from a driver's car. You want it to be small, nimble, agile, and powerful. We'll see, because these cars get heavier and heavier every single year, and I don't know where it's going, to be honest. So yeah, it's a all in all, it's a lovely car, decent economy, not like we care if we buy on these cars. Very nice E92 M3 on the other side. He gave me some flashes, flashed them back, very lovely. I think it was a competition, I'm not sure. You can't really tell on those cars, especially when they're rolling. But yeah, it's a decent car. It's a decent car for city. It's a decent car for B roads. As I will show you some bits and bobs. Probably have a cut eventually. Maybe here. Insert this bit of a clip somewhere, and it's better to be random, right? But yeah, we're joining the motorway now, and I'll show you the sounds of this car. So yeah, it's quite something. It is quite something. It's a very lovely piece of kit, and I'm not sure how well you're going to be hearing me because the road surface around here is horrendous, and this is not the most quiet car, I'll tell you that much, because the chassis is very stiff and the wheels are fairly big with low profile tires. It's not exactly the quietest thing on the planet, but we do what we must and enjoy it. Sport, off-ramp. Oh, such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. Decent, very decent. Very decent soundtrack. Even with the OPF filter and all these things happening, it's still a very decent soundtrack. As you can hear, it's honestly very, very lovely. And yeah, I've been enjoying the day. I feel quite spoiled to be able to say this, but I have been enjoying testing this car. It's been such a pleasure. Shout out to Partridge, BMW Partridge, here in the south of England, Portsmouth, Southampton, whatever you guys are, somewhere in between. It's a pleasure to get to drive these cars, and most of it happens because of you guys, so thank you very much for supporting me with this lovely, lovely car and allowing me to drive it. I know they're in very high demand, so I feel quite lucky to be able to experience one for myself. Oh, they sound so good. Yeah, these B58 sound amazing. I can't even imagine what this car will feel like with a proper exhaust on it, because the chassis is perfect. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about it. Maybe make it lighter. You can always make it lighter, because obviously that improves the handling, the dynamic, everything. Make it lighter, and yeah. But besides that, this thing is quite spectacular, and I wouldn't change many things about it. Pulling from roundabouts is very easy when you go all-wheel drive and this much power. So you could say this is a very safe car, because you go through these maneuvers very quickly without risking hanging about too much, without any of the drawbacks of a slower car. So yeah, this is basically a family SUV. But no, all jokes aside, great car. A bit fat. It could use going to the gym a couple of times to lose a few kilos, same as me. So yeah, it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely thing. It doesn't really lack from the previous generation. I frankly think it adds onto it. You can't really feel the weight unless you're braking and braking hard, because that's when you usually feel the weight. And I can't wait to test out the two-wheel drive version, the rear-wheel drive version, because this is X-Drive, as I said. And personally, I know there's people out there that do love them, but personally, I do not enjoy BMWs with an X-Drive, because the BMW is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to have an edge to it, and having an X-Drive system on a BMW kind of defeats the purpose of having a BMW. I do hope I'll be able to get back into one of these when the two-wheel drive version comes out, the rear-wheel drive. So until then, I'm going to be enjoying it a bit more, taking it around a few more roads around here, New Forest area. And I've missed my exit. Yeah, lovely. Anyway, more time in the car, can't complain. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Hope you enjoy the Car Guy Perspective, the new YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.